Synchronicities. Apparently, we're supposed to be having more of them now, and they're getting more detailed. And we're supposed to be in a time now where um, things are aligning, and synchronicities, or rather meaningful coincidences, are becoming more and more detailed as well. I know for years, I've had incredible synchronicities, coincidences, really, really detailed coincidences that they call in the spiritual world. They call it synchronicities rather than coincidences, and they're so detailed. And I've been having them for years, and maybe you have as well. And because they happen so often, and because they're so detailed and often daily, I think they can't be coincidences because there are just too many of them and they're too detailed. As for the meaning, what they're telling me, well, that's something to debate. I don't often know what the meaning is, if any, but still, it's fascinating and magical and spooky. And, if I was an atheist, or if I didn't believe in anything non-physical or anything beyond the physical world, if I was an atheist or similar, I would seriously be doubting and questioning my beliefs, what with the coincidences and synchronicities that I get all the time that are so detailed. And there've been so many over the years. Maybe you've had them as well. Some of them are really, really off the scale, unbelievable. Some of the ones I've had in the past, and frequently as well. And in another video, I'll talk about some of the most incredible ones from years ago, the detail. But yeah, just yesterday, I had two in one day, um, which I'll explain very briefly in a minute. But yeah, along the same lines, I don't know about you, but virtually every day I find that I'm reading something on a newspaper or magazine or on my phone screen, reading a message or an article on the computer or the phone, reading it on the screen, or in a book, and I've got the TV on in the background, and then often I find that somebody on the TV will speak the very same word and the very same phrase on the TV or radio as what I'm reading uh, in front of me, on the page or on the phone screen or computer screen, totally unrelated. But at that very moment, I hear the same word or the same phrase or the same couple of words, even sometimes, being spoken by somebody on the TV whilst I'm reading those exact same words. Not even looking at the TV. That really is uncanny, for want of a better word. And I get that virtually every day, sometimes more than once a day. I don't know about you. Do you get them? As I said, if I was an atheist or if I didn't believe in anything at all, I'd be seriously questioning and my beliefs, and whether there's more to this universe than we understand, or if there is more than we can always explain scientifically. I'd really be questioning my beliefs and ideas and concepts. But yeah, just to not to waffle too much, just yesterday, I was walking down the street and I went past a place where I used to work when I was a student, on a Saturday. Somewhere I used to work in the late 90s, early 2000s. Great memories, sentimental memories of the place. It was just a Saturday job, and I was walking past there yesterday with a friend, and it looks like the building is going to be demolished. It looks like a building site now. Don't know what's going to happen to the building, but memories from 25 years ago, more than that, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and I worked there on a Saturday, and I was talking about the boss that I had then, who I thought a lot of, and I'm still in touch with this lady now, and very fond of her, still in touch. And I was just talking about her to my friend as we walked past this building yesterday, talking about those good old days. And then about half an hour later, in the next street over, bearing in mind I haven't seen this lady physically in the flesh for years, only on Facebook, only on messages, only on the internet. I haven't seen her in the flesh physically for 10 years now since I've seen her physically. And just talking about her with my friends, we passed this building where she was the boss and where I used to work. And then half an hour later, in the next street over, um, bearing in mind I haven't seen her for years, there's a lady on the other side of the road looking at me and smiling from a balcony. And it looked like her. And I thought, is that her? It does look similar face in the distance, smiling at me from a balcony. And this is half an hour after I've been talking about her with my friend, and I called across to her. Is that you? She realised it was me, and I realised it was her, and we had a quick 5-minute chat. Unfortunately, I was in a hurry working, and so couldn't stop for long. But we had a quick 5-minute catch up. Very lovely, really sentimental, and but yeah, I said, "Oh, we're just talking about you." Half an hour ago in the next street over, and I haven't seen you physically for about 10 years in the flesh, only on a screen, only on the internet, only on messages. And there she is half an hour later staring at me from a balcony. It's like, it was, magical. But yes, people can say coincidence. Yes, coincidences happened. Coincidences, of course, exist, but some things are so detailed. And if they happen really a lot and often, then I really question how they can be coincidences when you get so many of them and they're so detailed. And then the other one that happened yesterday, tell me about the ones that you may have had recently, and whether you think this is a lot of old hocus pocus, or whether you question it or believe in it. Do you get a lot, or maybe you just get them occasionally? The second one yesterday was in the evening. I was in a pub not far from here, not far from where the other experience happened. I was in a pub with a few friends, and sort of late evening after a meal, and had a text message from a friend I've known for about 5 years who lives in Weymouth in Dorset, not too far from here. I'm in Bournemouth. A good friend, haven't spoken to for a while, but keeps in touch. Had a message from him in Weymouth, and haven't heard for a few months. And there was another guy, so I looked at this text message from my friend in Weymouth, and around that time, another guy joined our group who I didn't know, who I was introduced to. He's a friend of the people I was with. I'd never met him before. Briefly introduced to him as he came over late in the evening and joined us at our table, and I had a brief word with him. And he told me, this is 10 minutes after I had my text message from my friend, he told me that he's had a difficult drive with the traffic back from Weymouth. So he's sitting on the same table there as me, and there are about five of us. Never met him before. I've had a text message from a friend in Weymouth, and then I speak to this guy and get introduced to him at our table a few minutes later, and he says he's just had a difficult journey with the traffic back from Weymouth. I just think, within 5 minutes on the same table, there's only 5 of us. Weymouth is about, 30 miles away from Bournemouth. But yeah, again, some people could say, oh, just a coincidence. Weymouth's a fairly big place. Bournemouth's a big place, not that far away. But just that those two things happened 5 minutes apart. That's not as detailed as some. I've had some really, really detailed synchronicities or detailed coincidences. I call them synchronicities because I get so many of them. What do you think? Have you had many? Do you believe or disbelieve? Are you open to it, or do you think this is a lot of old hocus pocus, for want of a better expression? But yeah, as I said, every day also virtually every day, I get this thing where I'm listening to the TV or radio in the background, and I'm reading something on my screen or on a book or newspaper, and somebody on the TV or radio will say the exact same word, or even words, or even a phrase sometimes, the exact same phrase or word that I'm reading on the page or the screen in front of me at the same moment. So detailed, right at the same moment. But yeah, I mean, why? I don't know why, what it means. But as I said, if I was an atheist, or if I didn't believe in anything non-physical, if I was, very flat on those kind of things, I would seriously be questioning my ideas and concepts and beliefs. But what do you think? So today we're talking about synchronicities, the ones that happen a lot. Really uncanny, detailed coincidences.